How do you see the trend shifting in horror in 2026?
I feel like the horror movies that are doing better than others are the ones that are fun horror, or the ones that aren't like dealing with like trauma horror, which would seem like there was a wave of those types of movies starting when with like Hereditary, and now it's Weapons is like it's fun horror, Barbarian, Companion, or things that the audience gets scared, but they also have an enjoyable time.
You've produced big horror films like The Ring, Strangers, and It. How do you approach horror in this film over the years in Psycho Killer?
I judge each project as they come along based on the screenplay. And when I read Andy's script, it was something that really felt like if I had seen that as and realized as a film, I would really appreciate it. And so that's the way I judge all the projects based on whether or not in the version that when it finally comes out and hits the audience, would I appreciate it? Like this Psycho Killer is the type of movie if I was like in high school, I'd get all my friends and go see like the next version of a slasher movie because we haven't really seen a slasher movie like this because like there have always been like the Friday the 13th and the Nightmare on Elm Streets, and there hasn't been really like an introduction of a new iconic character other than like Pennywise or Gladys and Weapons, but it hasn't been like a slasher um, character in a while. And so this was something that's trying to be new and unique.
What emotional and visual skills for Hiccup and Astrid would you evolve, bringing the nostalgia in its own stand?
Well, the same way the animated sequel of How to Train Your Dragon really did was hit the balance really well, and it's going to be similar to that, especially since you have the two lead actors that are the same and the same director and the same writer. So it's just going to be a really cool way of seeing the live action version of that. It's yeah, it's similar to like I've just started seeing the live action versions of the God of War, and when people see that, it's going to really be impressive. I mean, they're going to be impressed.